Shabbat Shalom Mishpacha. This is Rabbi Simon Altef. We've had a wonderful week, Baruch Hashem. We like to give thanks and lift up the whole house of Israel. We lift up the entire universe, entire world. And we thank Abba for giving us life, giving us health. We thank Abba for taking us through the week, providing for our food, clothing and shelter, a roof over our head, food on the table, transportation for us to travel. I thank the Abba for that. I thank the Abba for healing those that are sick, making them well, and supporting that are needy. We thank you, Abba. We bless your holy name, and we commit everything in your name. Amen. Ve Amen. Okay, so the situation this week, as you know, this week has been the war, Ukraine and Russia. I gave you a little update last week where Russia has really decimated parts of Ukraine in the war and killed a lot of soldiers, but we're still not an end. America has already said that they've run out of money to support Ukraine. The Congress wants more money to continue the war. So things continue. However, there is no end to sight simply because Ukraine, if it was fighting by itself, the war would have ended long time ago. It's because the Americans, the British, the French, the Germans, because they're all trying to support it and for their own various reasons. Now, this lecture is not about what those reasons are, whether they are for good, whether they are for evil. It doesn't really matter. And what matters is that they are supporting the war. Otherwise, war would have finished long time ago. The Ukraine would have surrendered and Russia would have won the war. And technically, Russia still has won the war. They still have won the war because they have money to fight the war, and Ukraine doesn't. So that's where that war is. On the other front, I said earlier, and I continue to say the same thing, Gaza is not up for sale. Gaza is not a place where, Israel or Jewish people can claim it as theirs. It is not theirs. It never was, it never will be. They will lose that war simply because Gaza is not given to Israel. When we as a people crossed from Egypt to the Holy Land and we wanted to cross over Esau's son's land, we were told we can't do that. We were told by God plainly that you're not allowed to go into Seir because that land belongs to the other son of Isaac. So we had to go around it. Similarly, as I explained in last lecture, that the strip of Gaza, the area, the coastal area, it belonged to a people known as Philistines in the past, Plashtim in the Hebrew. Philistine people owned that land. And then, of course, years later, down the road, Israel had it at one time, and I clearly remember it was one of the generals, Israeli Prime Minister's Ariel Sharon. You might know him, Ariel Sharon. Ariel Sharon gave Gaza to the Palestinian people and told all the Jews over there to evacuate. And I think that was the best decision he made. Ariel Sharon made the best decision to do that because there was always conflict, fighting, shooting, stabbings. And so he, in order to avoid all of those things, he did that. And then after he did that, the Jews actually lived many years with peace without having people being stabbed and shot. And then later the wall came to avoid the suicide bombings. And then it stopped the suicide bombings. And then now we have this thing going on with Gaza. Israel is basically trying to acquire Gaza. Whether it's true or whether it's false, Well, the information is that Gaza, coastal area, Gaza has energy. And Israel wants to get that for energy reasons. That's all it is. You can call it what you like. You can call it, oh, they're attacking us and all that. No, it's not about them attacking you. It's about you wanting the energy areas for your own economic, financial benefit. And it doesn't matter because, God is not blind. God also knew that the lands that belonged to Esau were not to be given to Israel. So he told Israel not to touch it. Similarly, this land doesn't belong to you. No matter how much you try, you're not going to live in peace by even trying to acquire it. First, you cannot acquire it. Second, if you ever succeeded, you will not live in peace by doing so. So is it worth it? The answer is no. Benjamin Netanyahu has a history of corruption and lying. The man lies a lot. He lies as much as there was a joke. There was a joke about a fan spinning, in the heavens, and the joke was similarly that. Well, I won't go into the joke. We'll just leave that one. We'll leave that one for one side. But my point is this, that the land does not belong, and it's going to create further violence and problems. By trying to occupy or take the land is going to cause further aggravation. The reason we are seeing this blowback, the reason why this blowback came is as a result of trying to occupy that land, trying to blockade it, trying to shut it down, shut it in like a prison. And any sane Jewish man or woman, they know that they try to blockade Gaza, they try to shut it in, they try to make it a prison with 2.2 million people, and look at the end result. The blowback has happened. So that's where we are with that. The whole world is watching. Israel is being humiliated. Whole world is watching. And it has put a very, very dark spot on so-called Jews today. Yemen has started to attack their ships, has started to abduct the ships, and Yemen has already said, they made a statement that we're going to attack any good ships, any energy, anything that's passing through Red Sea. We're going to attack it. We're not going to let it go. And Israel now has to go to war with Yemen in order to pacify that side. And America has already told Israel that we are not going to go to war with Yemen. Saudi Arabia has said that you are not going to go to war with Yemen, to America. America has refrained from attacking Yemen. Even though when Yemen attacked American ships, America didn't respond back. Why? Because Saudi Arabia told America that if you attack back, the war will spread in the region, it will destabilize the whole Middle East. So therefore don't do it. Israel, unfortunately or fortunately, Israel's leaders, I'm not talking about the Jewish people on the ground, they're probably innocent bystanders, most of them living over there. But the leadership in Israel is so toxic. Right now the leadership is so toxic that they are getting a blowback, and they deserve everything that they get back. I'm telling you, they deserve everything that they're getting back. And they should learn a lesson not to do what they've done wrong in the past. They should learn a lesson. But I don't know if they will learn a lesson or not, but definitely people wearing sneakers, t-shirts, have blown their tanks to smithereens, left, right, and center. And come on, anybody looking at that is going to have, going to be laughing at them. What kind of, people are these? They look at the war they are fighting, and they're losing it, and they're being made, they've been made, laughing stock in the world, and it's just going to generate more hatred for Jews worldwide. It is not needed. It is not needed, and it is not wanted. Innocent people are being trapped. Both Jews, Palestinians, they're being trapped in this war, and they are, going to suffer the consequences. That's basically as far as the war. I wrote about these things years ago, saying that the Red Sea area is going to be volatile area, very hot, and we are beginning to see the first stages of that coming to pass. It's right in front of your eyes. Red Sea, and also there's two other areas I mentioned. The other area I mentioned was the Straits of Hormuz. That's come into attention lately because a lot of good ships pass through that. And then there's one other area, but I'll leave that for another time. So this is where we are. If you want to know more about that, you can get the books from Amazon. There are a number of books there. I think there's a book there called World War III. They're under the World War III series, and you can just search under the World War III under my name, and you'll find the books. All my readings that I do will come from the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls. Our Parsha this week is chapter 41 of Genesis. And then it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh had a dream, and behold, he stood by the river. Suddenly there came out of the river 7 cows, fine looking and fat, and they fed in the meadow. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them out of the river, ugly and gaunt, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the river, and the ugly and the gaunt cows ate up the 7 fine-looking and fat cows, so Pharaoh awoke. Now, by the way, this dream that the Pharaoh had, he dreamed it every day. It wasn't a one-time occurrence. What does this teach us? This dreaming every day, and then Joseph came. Joseph was called. He was in prison. This was a rise to fame for Joseph, and Joseph came, and he then interpreted the dream for Pharaoh. And then Pharaoh made Joseph number 2 in the land, and he was given charge to then store, because Joseph's idea was to store food. Joseph told Pharaoh that you're going to have 7 years of famine. Then Joseph also advised to make silos to store food. And then Pharaoh gave the command to Joseph and said, you are in charge, you construct the silos, and you do the food storage. And everything you say is as if I have said it. I have, your voice has my stamp. Everybody has to believe you. So he became number 2. If he became what I might call the prime minister of Egypt, not viceroy, even more than that, prime minister of Egypt, and he was able to direct and do everything. Now, what does this teach us? Generally, in principle, for our life, what does it teach us? Symbolically, allegorically, mystically, what does it teach us? It teaches us that when you dream something every day, it's going to come true. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be a dream when you're sleeping, you dream it. No, it means that you can create your own dream. You can create a visualization, imagination. When you go to bed, and if you imagined that you had $100 million in your account, if you imagine you're sleeping and you got $100 million in your account, and if you dream that every day, it's going to come to pass. Means imagination is true. Imagination is God. Meaning it's the connection to God through imagination. What you're doing, you're going into the quantum field, and you're calling the future into the present. That's the quantum field. And so it is true. So whatever you want in life, dream it every day. It's simple. Whatever you want in life, dream it every day. There was a actor here in this country, in the East, and the actor, went on to a stage to speak about his life. Maybe he's about 30 years old, and they asked him his rise to fame, and he said, when I was 11 years old, I kept dreaming that I am working in dramas, in stage shows. I kept dreaming it from 11 years of age, and he basically gave that to, the name he gave was law of attraction. He said the law of attraction, I kept dreaming it, and every day I dreamed that I'm on the stage, I'm doing some shows, and I'm in the drama, in the soap opera, and I'm doing the shows. And he said, when I became 18 years of age, things happened. Certain, my friend came and told me to go and audition in some theater, and I got the job. It wasn't great pay. The pay was very low, but I still took it for experience. And from there I developed, and here I am today. I'm a very successful actor, a drama actor, also a soap actor, soap opera type, so these like serials that run. And so today he makes a lot of money in his profession, but he started with dreaming. So I tell you to put your imagination to use. Dream what you want, but dream every day. Every day when you go to bed, you close your eyes, you start dreaming, you start believing, you start thinking that I have this lining up, and I'm this person. And if you start to do that, construct your image. Know exactly what you want. First, know exactly what you want. Construct an idea. An idea might be that you're a businessman or a businesswoman. As an idea, maybe you've got a $5 million business or a $50 million business, and your business is generating maybe, if you've got a $50 million business, maybe your business is generating $10 million revenue every year, and out of that $10 million, maybe you're making $5 million profit, or maybe $3 million profit every year. So whatever idea, construct an idea and then write it down so you know what your idea is. And you only write it down once. You don't have to write it down 50 times. You write down your idea that I have a business. It's a $50 million business. It's making $5 million annually. And out of that $5 million annually or monthly, however you devise to construct it, and out of that 5 million, whatever it is, I'm making $2 million profit. Every time it turns 5 million, I get $2 million profit. That's 40% profit, basically, out of your investment. So you do that. You do that constantly. If you've invested 50 million, and if you're making $5 million profit, then of course, you can say that's like, 10% profit of 50 million. Or you may construct it differently to what I'm giving you. So I'm only giving you an idea. So once you developed your idea, you write it down, you're happy with it, you say, okay, I have a business. My business has got $50 million investment, and it's making me $5 million annually. Or maybe more. Whatever. You might say it's $10 million annual return. Out of the 50 million that I've invested, I get $10 million return. So whatever it is, you do it. You do it every day. Similarly, I told you, imagine those of you who are not business minded, those of you who are, don't know how to do business, I've simply told you to imagine that you have $3 million given to you. It's in your account now. When you open your phone app and you look, you have $3 million there, cash, sitting. Now you're going to use some of that money to purchase items of desire. Maybe a laptop, maybe some perfume, maybe some clothing, items of need, telephone, clothing, perfume, toiletries, etc. And then you're going to invest some of that money into investment, so you can make, I've only given you a very simple figure, that you're going to make no less than $5,000 to $10,000 investment a month. So you can run your life with that $3 million. And by the way, it's very doable. There are many, many businesses, there are hundreds of businesses that you could plug $1 million into, just $1 million, not even 3 million. Just plug $1 million into many businesses, and they will easily give you $5,000 to $10,000 a month, easily, eyes shut. You won't have to do nothing. And you'll be collecting money just sleeping every day, waking, sleeping, walking, you'll be collecting money. So this is why I gave you that do it every day. Do it relentlessly. Only now, remember last week I spoke about habits. And I said those people that have good habits, they are the ones that become successful. Those people who have bad habits, they are the ones who don't become successful. Now, it doesn't mean that that's a bad person or just because you didn't become successful, you become a bad person. No, of course not. Your habits are not you. Your habits are just habits. And if you made losses in the past, like if you were in a business or in a job or something and you lost it or you lost the business, it doesn't mean that was you losing it. It was your method. It was your choices that you made. They didn't turn out right, and it's okay, because you as a person are still alive and well, healthy, and you can still start anew. So you never beat yourself up over the past. Your decisions are not you. Remember that. Your decisions are not you. Therefore, don't think about this falsified idea that you have to become perfect. There's no such thing. It's a falsified idea. It's a false idea. It's a straw man to think, it's like building a wall and then saying you must climb that wall. False idea, it's not true, you don't have to. Don't even ever believe it. Don't ever believe such things, because they are not true. And they're just to pit you against yourself. So you continue to fight the same battle over and over again, and you never win, because it's a falsified idea. So you do not pit your life against falsified humanic ideas. Totally hogwash, bull sugar, that's all it is. This is nothing. This is just rubbish. Don't go there. So my suggestion to you is that you have to start with an idea that you like to bring into your life, and you can dream on it. Just like Pharaoh was having a dream of a truth that's going to occur in the future. You can dream every day and it will be true for you. That is the idea. You got to dream every day. And the habits. Listen, habits are what make you. Almost many of the rich people in the world, and you can maybe go and look at some of their lives, you will find out that these billionaires in the world, or the very rich people in the world, what do they do first thing when they get up in the morning? Number one, they get up early in the morning. They are not late risers. They are early risers. They rise anywhere between 3 to 5 a.m. They do meditation when they rise up. They write their list in the morning, whatever plans they have or whatever they're thinking, they make a list. And that is a list they work on. That's the billionaires, they do that. Most of them do that. That's their habit. That's a good habit. What happens is when you rise up in the morning and you do the meditation, you clear your mind. You clear your mind and you focus on what you want by writing a list. You focus. I think I spoke about making a list quite a while ago. Last year maybe the year before that. I spoke about making a list. And what does a list contain? The list can contain any random items that you desire to bring into your life. Let's call it manifestation. Let's call it, you might make a list and you write on the list, your new car name, your house area where you want to live, amount of money you want to have in the bank, kind of business you like to have. This is your list, and you can do that every day. Yeah, that's something you can do every day. When you write a list, you write bullet points. You don't make long affirmation type, journal. You make it short, and it's a list. And when you are in the habit of doing that every day, then it will come to pass for you. It'll take a little time. Doesn't mean it's take years. I'm talking about little time as in weeks and months, but it will come to pass. Similarly, as I told you, as a habit, I told you to, before you go to bed, you write your affirmations. Journal it. Not all of them, by the way. I didn't say all of them. I said maybe just 3 of your affirmations. Journal them. Okay, if 3 is too much, just one. Pick one. Pick one affirmation and write it 10 times. And I even went to say that if you find 10 times is too much, then double up, maybe pick 2 affirmations or 3 and write them 5 times each. No less than 5. And, if you can do it 10 times, great, wonderful. If you do it 10 times, then you can do it, maybe 2 affirmations 10 times. And if the original method that I gave you was 30 times, 30 times might be too much for some of you. So don't bother with 30 times if it's too much for you, then switch back to 10 times. 2 affirmations or 3 affirmations at most. Don't exceed 3, because 3, 10, 10, 10 equals 30, and that's enough. If you do 1 affirmation 30, you can do 3, 10, 10, 10, and that's 30. You've achieved your goal. Do it before you go to bed. Do it also when you get up. Whatever time you get up, I'm not saying that you must get up at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. I'm saying that if you are able to, if you get up at 7, you do it at 7. If you get up at 6, you do it at 6. But do it consistently. Do it daily. Don't say, oh, well, today is Sabbath, I'll take a day off. No, every day you have to do it, including the Sabbath. Do it every day, but do it consistently. So if you make a habit, that's a habit. When you make a good habit, the end result will be you will get somewhere good with that. Good habits brings good results. Bad habits brings bad results. What's a bad habit? A bad habit may be drinking alcohol. Too much of alcohol. Bad habit is going to bring negative results. And also alcohol can intoxicate your mind and you're not able to think straight. So try not to do that kind of habit where you're going to go, your mind's going to be intoxicated and you can't think straight. Don't do that, okay? That's a bad idea. Also, I cannot control and I cannot tell you that, hey, don't think negative. I can tell you don't think negative, but thinking negative is on your part. In other words, if all you do is all day long you're negative, it doesn't matter if you write 30 times that I am a millionaire, you're still going to be a loser. Why? You're going to be a loser because your mind is generating negative thoughts throughout the day and you're not controlling it. So you must remove that negativity. Some of you need to ask yourself. You started talking, or you started thinking positive, or maybe you started to write affirmations, or maybe you started to speak. And if you did, and if you've been doing it for over a year, you need to ask yourself, why haven't they come to pass yet? Not unless you're asking $1 billion and then taking time. Sure, I'm talking about the regular items, You want to get a laptop, you want to get a telephone, you want to get, other smaller items. Why haven't they come to pass if you've been doing it over a year? That's something you need to ask yourself. And if it's a bigger item, like if you've been trying to hit that $1 million marker or above, then why hasn't it come to pass? And one of the reasons I'm suggesting, so don't get off your rocker, because if I'm going to suggest that maybe could it be that you're running some negative thoughts in your mind every day, mental talk that is negative. Negative mental talking can be a hindrance to your success. Let me say it again. Negative mental talking can be a hindrance to your success. So, let's say that you want to acquire $1 million, but you're sitting there, maybe watching TV, maybe cooking or something, but your mind is running with, how am I going to get $1 million? Where is it going to come from? Who's going to give it to me? I don't have rich relatives. I don't have a rich father, a mother. Where is it going to come? So when you're running those negative thoughts, or your thoughts could be, I'm not worthy. I've never seen $1 million. How's it going to happen for me? It's just a pipe dream. It doesn't happen for me. It happens for other people. It's like people say, I never win the lottery. Only other people always win. I never win the lottery. Only other people always win. When you keep saying that, you make it an affirmation. It's become an affirmation. Why? Because now what you're saying is you're not going to be a winner, but the other people are, and that's what keeps happening. It actually fulfills your idea. Your ideas are manifesting. How? Because the other people are winning. Because you already said it, that you never win, and the other people win. But if you turned it around, remember, your mental talk is affirmations. If you turned it around and said that winning the lottery jackpot is easy, it's like drinking a cup of coffee. The lottery is rigged in my favor. I always win. Now, if you turned it around and started saying that you are the winner, that the lottery is rigged in your favor, and the lottery is like drinking a cup of coffee. Yeah, I win the lottery jackpot. I win the lottery jackpot. Not that you're not going to say I am going to, not I'm going to. You say I am, I have. So you say I won the lottery jackpot. It's easy. It was easy. Yeah, I won it. Yeah, no problem. So if you condition your mind, and I'm not saying that's going to happen in a day, but it can for some. But if you condition your mind and tell yourself that you are the winner, that you can easily win the lottery, that is just like drinking coffee every day. Second nature. You get up in the morning, you make coffee for yourself. Second nature. And maybe if you live in UK, you make tea. So second nature. So if you make it a second nature and you tell yourself that it is easy as drinking tea, lottery winning jackpot is as easy as drinking coffee, then you're conditioning your mind, you're conditioning your senses, you're conditioning your mental talk to bringing that desire to your life. Closer and closer until it's there. You don't get there by being negative, okay? This idea that you get there by being negative is not true. And you don't have to read 50 million books, different books to get your desire. You know, I talk to different people, and I said to one person, you know, they're avid readers, they like to read different books, different authors. And I told that person, have you got your desire? And the answer is, of course, no. So I asked them, I said, why not stick to one? Why not stick to the original idea of your desire coming to you, instead of following Tom, Dick, and Harry and trying to understand what Tom, Dick, and Harry are saying in order to pursue your desire? I said, I'm sorry, I wouldn't encourage it and I wouldn't do it. I said, the original idea of the law of manifestation, call it the law of manifestation, call it law of attraction, call it something else, law of assumption, whatever you want to call it. I said, it's all there in the Bible. It's all there. And then people have taken these ideas from the Bible and put them in books in different ways, different forms, different authors. Everybody puts it in a different way. Neville Goddard may explain it one way. You have Dr. Murphy may use another method. Then somebody else comes along. Wayne Dwyer, maybe he speaks it another way. Then maybe somebody else, maybe what's his name, Joe Dispenza, and he says it in a different way. Forget it. I don't need to follow the 15 million authors. I'm not chasing 50 million authors. I'm sticking to one idea, the idea that comes out of my Torah. I'm sticking to it. That's it. I'm sticking to it. And if Neville's teachings help me, if Neville's teaching shed more light on that subject, sure, I'm willing to take a look. I'm willing to take a look at it and maybe tweak my system and adapt to it. But I'm not going to go chasing after 300 authors trying to understand how I'm going to manifest my car. I don't need to do that. So listen, I've told you once and I've told you many times, stick to this method. You will not fail. You don't need to go to Neville, you don't need to go to Wayne Dwyer, and you don't need to go to 50 other authors. Your only method that's going to work for you, number one, either you imagine it every day, 3 times a day. Whatever you desire, a new job, $150,000 job or a $200,000 job, $500,000 job, imagine every day, 3 times a day. Stick it 3 times a day. Number one. Number two, you can speak it. You can speak it robotically. How do you speak it robotically? Well, you can say, I have a $150,000 job. Simple. How difficult is that? I have a $150,000 job. And you just say it over and over and over, and you set a slot. Set a slot. Be brave. Be brave like me. Don't be a fearmonger. Be brave. Set big time scale. Set a time scale. Now how are you going to do it? 20-minute slot times 3. 20, 20, 20. 1 hour slot. You sit down solid. You put your coffee on your table, if you like drinking coffee, and you're now going to start speaking. Close your eyes if you want to, and you can speak it in your mind, or you can speak it out of your mouth, whichever is easier. Because if you've got people around you, you're going to speak it in your mind. I have, or you can say, I have a $150,000 job. It's wonderful. I have a $150,000 job. Or you might say, I have $5 million in my bank. I have $5 million in my bank. I have $5 million in my bank. Now, if somebody heard you, they're going to say you're mad. You don't have $5 million in your bank. Why you keep saying it? See, that person doesn't know the law. The law states when you say something over and over again, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. So that's all you're going to do. You're not going to do nothing more fantastic than that. You're simply going to stick to the statement I showed you, and you're going to stick to it, and you're going to produce it. And I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee you this, and I have given this to my student in the past, and they have succeeded with it. You do not need to go to 50,000 authors. You can simply say the job that you want, simply rampage it. If you want to work remotely, I have a remote job paying, then name your salary. I have a remote job paying, name your salary. What salary do you want? I have a remote job paying $200,000. I have a remote job paying $150,000. I have a remote job paying $100,000. I have a remote job paying $200,000. I have a remote job paying $200,000. I have a remote job paying $200,000. Keep saying it till you're blue in your face. You're going to say that over and over and over and over again. I told you, you can put a 20-minute slot, or you can put two 30-minute slots. 30 minutes, 1 hour. You're going to rampage it for an hour. Then you're going to start seeing your world transform. Listen, this idea, let me tell you something. This idea that people have, that our subconscious only works, our supermind only works when we are sleeping, is a false idea. It's another one of those, everybody, you got to be perfect. False idea. No. Your subconscious mind, your supermind, something that we tap into and something that connects to God, that's open different times of the day. Different times during the day, it is open to suggestion. It is open to what you're speaking, even what you're thinking. So when you speak it constantly and you keep saying the same command over and over and over, then if your subconscious mind opens up, it's going to take it in and it's going to produce it. Now let me put it another way. And I want you to test it out. Test it out and prove me wrong. Okay? Test it out. I want you to say, today, you're going to go out, and maybe when you're inside and you're about to go out, and you're going to say, today, I'm only going to see red cars. That's all you're going to say. Today, I'm only going to see red cars before you go out. Today, I'm only going to see red cars. So what happens, you go on the road, you're traveling in your car, in your vehicle, in your bus, train, whatever, and suddenly what happens, you start seeing red cars. Hey, that's magic, isn't it? I said I'm going to see red cars and I'm seeing red cars. Why does that happen? Because your supermind, your subconscious mind is a printer. Listen, it's a printer. It will only give you evidence of what you tell it. What you ask, you get the evidence. If you tell yourself, today I'm only going to see red cars, it's only going to give you evidence for red cars because it's a printer. A printer does not care what you want to print from it. When you send a document to a printer, it doesn't care what writing is on there. It doesn't care if it's hateful writing, if it's nice writing, if it's lovely writing, if it's joyful writing, if it's a poem, if it's a story, if it's a letter. It don't care. A printer only prints a document. So you are printing what your desire, your subconscious, your supermind is printing your desire. If you're asking it, hey, today I only want to see red cars, it's only going to give you evidence of red cars because you asked it. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. Okay? Think about what I just said. Now, if you continually speak and say that I have a salary of $150,000. I have a salary of $150,000. It has to be, you don't need to say I'm getting. You don't need to say I got. You don't need to say I will. You can simply say I have. Have is enough. I have a salary of $150,000. You keep saying it. Do the way I said. 20-minute slot, 20 minute. Maybe after 1 hour you get tired, you want to take a break. Sure, go take a break, no problem. Don't tell me that your life is not important. Don't ever tell me that your life is not important for you to spend 1 to 2 hours a day doing that. Don't tell me that. Because if you do, then I will tell you that you are a lazy person, that you will never get anywhere if you continue to behave like that. Your life is very important. Your life is not only important to you, but is important to other people around you, maybe your family members, maybe your friends. And you're here for a purpose. God has put you here for a purpose. That purpose will be met through you. So start taking things seriously today. Today, you start taking things seriously. No more of this, I'm feeling tired today. My hands are tired. No, you start taking your life seriously. And you're going to change your life. It's going to change rapidly. But it's going to change because you've decided to change. So today we start. And today we put everything away that's not important. Listen, everything that is not important. My teacher in the finance markets, in the forex markets and the commodities markets. You know what my teacher said? My teacher said, you give yourself 1 month. 1 month you're going to watch my videos day and night. And you put everything else away. He said, don't watch any soap opera. He says, don't watch any movie. Don't watch any news item. Don't care about what Kardashian's doing. Don't care about what that team over there, the football teams are doing. He said he used to follow all those teams. He used to follow them avidly. He was actually an ex-policeman, and he lives up in New York somewhere. So he was telling us one day that he used to watch all those teams and follow them up, and then it came to a point when he lost his job. Or no, he didn't actually lose his job. He had his job, and his job was paying $70,000. He was comfortable. And he said, one day he decided that's not for him. That's not for him, that police job. And he said, he decided to become a trader. And he said, he started to learn, and he did back testing on TradingView. He said he did back testing, he started to learn, he spent 4 months learning. And he said after 4 months he came out a trader and he started to trade, and this guy is now a multi-millionaire. Okay, multi-millionaire guy. He was telling us his story. He says, listen, you, my students, you are going to do for 1 month, you're just going to look at the charts. Nothing else but the charts. You're going to back test, and you're going to learn my system, and you're going to watch my videos. Yeah, sure, they're 2 hour, maybe 3 hour, maybe 4 hour videos. He says, I have 30 videos, and 4 hours, 120 hours. He says, 120 hours is your life. Is your life not worth it? Your life is worth it, and you're going to do it. Change your life. He says, you will carry this skill to the rest of your life, but you're going to learn it. And I agree with him. I believe with him. Yes, similarly, on this front, changing your life, you must do what I'm telling you. Start doing what I'm telling you. Start speaking these affirmations out loud or in your mind. Start speaking them, and you will get somewhere in life. Your life is much, much more important than you think. You are here for a purpose. So start doing it, please. Stop wasting time. Okay, with that, I want to say have a wonderful Shabbat and a wonderful next week. Remember, you are an achiever. You are not a quitter. You'll never quit. You are a winner. Now go and prove it. Now go and show it to the world that you are a winner, and that you are put over here for a reason, and that people will respect you, people will look up to you. With that, wonderful week. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, Shalom.